Imagine this: dawn breaks over a misty Amish farm. A 95-year-old elder, with a flowing white beard, is lifting heavy hay bales like they're nothing. His steps are light, his laughter echoes across the fields, sounding like a man half his age. Now, what if I told you this isn't just because of fresh air and hard work? What if it's a hidden genetic secret, locked in their blood, a rare mutation that slashes the effects of aging, adds extra decades to their life, and shields them from the diseases that plague our modern world? Scientists are calling it a potential fountain of youth, born from centuries of isolation and a strange twist of fate in their persecuted past. But this blessing hides a darker side, one that could rewrite everything we know about growing old. Stick with me, because the untold Amish secret to longevity you're about to discover is more shocking than you ever imagined. We're about to plunge into the shadowy, horse and buggy world of the Amish, revealing their forbidden traditions and the real-life stories of elders who seem to defy time itself. You'll hear about centenarians who are still farming into their hundreds, lifestyles that crush modern plagues like obesity and diabetes, and the explosive genetic bombshell from a secluded Indiana community that has researchers scrambling to unlock eternal youth. This isn't a fairy tale, it's a raw, historical oddity mixed with cutting-edge science that might just change your life. Let's step back to the dawn of a typical Amish day, where the real magic begins. As the sun rises over the rolling hills of Pennsylvania or the plains of Indiana, there are no electric lights flickering on. There's just the soft glow of lanterns as an Amish family rises with the roosters. The father, broad-shouldered and resolute, hitches up his horse and heads to the fields, plowing furrows by hand or guiding teams of mules through the soil. It's back-breaking labor from the first light of day, hauling water, chopping wood, mending fences, but this relentless rhythm is their first unbreakable secret to vitality. Amish men often rack up over 18,000 steps a day. The women aren't far behind, with around 14,000 steps, weaving constant movement into every chore like baking bread, canning vegetables, or scrubbing laundry on old-fashioned washboards. There are no gyms, no fad workouts, just a life that demands strength, building bodies that stay lean and resilient deep into old age. Take the story of old Jacob Miller, a tale inspired by the elders of Lancaster County. He was born in the early 1900s when cars were still a novelty the Amish shunned. Jacob rose before sunrise his entire life, milking cows by hand, harvesting corn under scorching summer suns, and building barns with nothing but hammers and the power of his community. At 70, when most outsiders are retiring to their rocking chairs, Jacob was still climbing ladders and outworking his own sons. And his diet? It was made up of hearty, farm-fresh feasts, creamy milk straight from the udder, garden-ripened tomatoes, homemade sausages, and pies bursting with berries. Fats and calories galore, yet the obesity rate in Amish circles lingers at just 4%, a tiny fraction of the epidemic we see in the outside world. Why? That endless activity burns it all away, keeping their hearts pumping strong and their waists trim. As the morning flows into midday, the family gathers around a massive oak table, groaning under platters of stew, fresh-baked bread, and apple butter. There are no solitary screens here. Meals are sacred bonds, where stories are swapped about ancestors who fled the Swiss mountains in the 1700s, escaping fiery persecutions for their faith. These Anabaptist roots run deep, without traditions like foot-washing ceremonies that echo biblical humility, or secret barn worships to dodge the old world inquisitors. But the true glue that holds them together is community. Loneliness, that silent killer of the modern age, rarely touches them. Elders live at home, surrounded by generations of family, cared for with a devotion that studies sake and adheres to a person's life, equivalent to kicking a deadly habit. When frailty does come, grandchildren tend gardens alongside their grandparents, sharing wisdom under starry skies free of city glare. Afternoons blend into evenings with more toil, women quilting intricate patterns passed down through centuries, men repairing buggies or shoeing horses. Tobacco use is rare, especially among women, which dramatically slashes their cancer risks. Sleep comes early, deep and untroubled in their quiet homes, with bodies repaired by nature's own rhythm. Over months and years, this lifestyle builds an ironclad foundation of health. Their diabetes rates are half the norm, cancers are far lower, and their minds stay sharp from having a constant sense of purpose. But wait, here comes the dramatic twist that flips everything upside down. In the secluded hills of Bern, Indiana, a tiny Amish enclave harbors a genetic thunderbolt that was discovered back in the 1990s. It all started innocently. A young girl suffered unusual bleeding from a simple bump on her head. In this community, those who carry one copy of the mutation enjoy have PI1 levels, and the results are staggering. They live about 10 years longer, on average 85 years compared to 75 for their relatives who don't carry the gene. Their telomeres, those protective caps on our chromosomes that shorten as we age, stay 10% longer. Diabetes, it's virtually absent among the carriers. Their insulin levels are lower, their metabolisms hum along efficiently, and their cardiovascular health is much stronger. It's as if their bodies have hit the pause button on aging's accelerator. This private mutation, traced all the way back to Swiss ancestors who brought it over in the 1800s, turned their isolation into an accidental superpower. Scientists are stunned. It's the first real human proof that dialing down PI1 can fight biological aging head-on, and it's already sparking clinical trials for drugs that could mimic this effect. Yet, there's a haunting shadow. If someone inherits 2 copies of this gene, their PI1 vanishes entirely. This triggers rare bleeding disorders or even heart scarring. In Bern, a handful of people face this curse, a stark reminder that nature's gifts often demand a trade-off. But for the lucky ones, the heterozygotes, it's a pure elixir: longer lives, healthier years, free from many of our modern scourges. So let us zoom out to the climax. The Amish longevity secret is a blend of sweat-soaked days, unbreakable family ties, pure foods, and for a select few a genetic shield against the ravages of time. The pros: they crush the rates of obesity, diabetes, and the decline driven by isolation. Their elders are vibrant, purposeful, and revered. The cons: there are higher risks from inbreeding in these closed groups. Limited access to modern medicine can delay some treatments, and that double mutation peril is always lurking. But here's the mind-blower: this isn't some unattainable mysticism. We outsiders can steal pieces of their formula. We can move more, eat real food, nurture our bonds with family and community, and shun toxins. And with PI1 research exploding, pills that mimic Bern's miracle might soon extend healthy lifespans to all of us. The Amish guard their secrets in plain sight, living proof that simplicity, community, and a dash of forbidden genetics can conquer aging's grip. It's a historical oddity whispering timeless truths. So what about you? Would you trade modern conveniences for the Amish path to extra decades of life? Or would you rather chase that genetic breakthrough in a pill? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, share this video if it blew your mind, and subscribe for more untold secrets from hidden worlds. Thanks for watching.